这个人没你帅。
完了！
你太笨了，反正你懂了。那我觉得你没懂。
这是人族选手吗？
是。这是兽族选手吗？
不是。这个人是90后吗？
是。这是暗夜选手吗？
不是。身高有1.80米吗？
这是我吗？
这个是你。
这是我吗？
对对是。
这是选手吗？
选手
啊，选手吗？
啊，这是选手。
这是选手。
啊，这个人是人族吗？
对。这个人是帅吗？
这个人没你帅。
没有我帅。
对。这个人有没有你帅？
这个人跟我差不多。
差不多。我感觉我知道谁了。
这个是韩国的吗？这个人是？
不是。
不是啊。
这个人是中国的吗？
不是。你懂了？那我觉得你没懂。这个是阿念吗？这个人是阿念。
啊，这个人是阿念。
哦，
这个是选手吗？
不是。
他有女朋友吗？
啊，没有。
没有啊。
啊，这是彩色吗？
啊，是的。啊。
这是魔兽的单位吗？
不是。这个不是选手吧？
不是选手。这是选手吗？
不是。
你问。
这是跟兽族有关系的东西吗？
是。这是魔兽的英雄吗？
不是。这是英雄吗？
是。完了。完了。这是魔兽编辑器吗？
编辑器不是。这是剑雄吗？
是。
你太笨了，反正。
太笨了。哦，这是公鸡之爪吗？
啊，对。
都提示到这个。
大家好，我是来自中国的人族选手 LP40Q 的。在巴金斯的比赛上，我遇到了俄罗斯的人族选手 Hawk。我跟他打的时候，印象最深刻的是第5局决战的时候，当时他有很多的破法，然后我只有1、2个，当时觉得情况非常危机，但是依旧是通过不懈的努力和操作，把对手给击退了。之前我和来自韩国的兽族选手牛兵令交战次数也是比较多的啊，其中是各有胜负，谁都不能说谁一定赢。现在的兽族的一个首发英雄都是先知，剑圣的首发的概率已经非常低了，肯定会是相对于先知的一个战术去进行去围绕着他这个战术来进行准备的。在比赛之前去研究对手的风格和这个细节。然后根据对手的风格细节做出相应的改变与针对，这个不论是谁，包括我，包括令，包括其他任何选手都会去这么做。曾经我打比赛的时候，每一次都是说我想拿冠军，想站在最高的领奖台，但是我发现其实这并没有什么对我的帮助。反正我现在的一个主要的一个预期就是认真的去准备好当前的比赛，至于后面是谁有多强，或者说火人没多强，我都会非常去重视对手，打好每一场比赛。赛前肯定是会有紧张的，但是任何的比赛我都会有一些这样的不一样的心态上的变化。如果能够克服这样的紧张的状态，能够把这种紧张当做自己一个更加努力的一个动力的话，反而可以发挥出更好的效果。我会展现我自己最好的一面，去迎接这次的比赛，希望我能够获胜。谢谢大家支持。
大家好，我是 TH000，然后来自中国 RW。然后我觉得 B 组和 C 组其实都是很死亡的组，然后任何人出现，我觉得都是有可能的。 在8强中我之所以能够3-0 sock 主要原因是因为我的人族底蕴比他足吧，就是我比他多打了非常多的时间，然后他可能掌握现代的知识比较充分，但是我特意去考了他一些比较偏门的知识，然后也是让他交了点学费吧。我觉得120跟 Happy 的比赛其实已经没有失败者了吧，他们2个人也是。可以说是昨天的亮眼吧，就是打了应该是我们4场比赛里面最精彩的一场 BO5。这一次跟 Happy 交手，就是其实我觉得我们还是比较接近吧。然后这个对抗目前来讲，人族最难对付的只有120了，就是 Happy 的话没有像120那么多战术多变，它是属于一个机器人，但是这是属于一个褒义的形容，就是形容它非常有纪律性，每一盘打的都非常的认真，然后而且能够在很固定的时间去做比较正确的事情。这一次也是很可惜 ，Infi 像120Fly 这些没有晋级到就是晋级到4强吧。然后我也是希望将来我能够跟他们一起能够杀进4强，然后一起把一个冠军留在中国。
Hello everyone, my nickname is Happy, I come from Russia and I play Warcraft 3. Yeah, I've been to Shanghai like 3 times I think, maybe 4. Well, I had pretty tough group, I won against Moon and Enfi, that were favorites in my group. Well, he's a very strong player, I knew it would be a tough match, but I'm glad that I could win. Because I think he's actually better than me in a that mirror, but well, it was a tough match and I'm glad that I won it. I think he's a very strong player, so it will be a hard match. I think the matchup on that versus human is more or less fair. I think it's rather balanced, so I don't know, I very well can, but we'll see. Like, I don't have expectations, I just try my best and I'll try to win. Well,
尊敬的各位来宾、现场以及收看直播的观众朋友们，大家下午好！您正在收看的是由上海市体育总会、静安区人民政府主办，哔哩哔哩电竞、上海大宁集团、 上海市电子竞技体育协会承办的2019电竞上海大师赛的比赛现场。同时，我们要感谢我们的合作伙伴招商银行上海分行、毕马威中国、上海联通。各位观众朋友们，可以通过哔哩哔哩、斗鱼、虎牙、PPTV 和咪咕直播来收看本次的直播。大家好，我是主持人雪妍。今天是我们第3天的比赛日，要进行的是我们2019魔兽争霸3黄金联赛冬季赛的半决赛和决赛。首先，各位观众，让我们来听一下属于我们魔兽争霸3的呐喊，好吗？再次感谢各位。经过了我们4天的小组赛和1天的8强赛，最终本次比赛的4强已经决出，他们也来到了舞台上，让我们用最激烈的掌声请他们登场。下面要请出的是来自俄罗斯的亡灵选手，来自 LF 战队的 Happy。让我们欢迎的是来自中国的人族选手，来自 LP 战队的 42。同样，让我们欢迎的是来自中国的人族选手，来自 RW 战队的 TH000。在2019电竞上海大师赛的4天比赛当中，我们将进行4个项目的角逐。前2天进行了 DNF 天王赛以及英雄联盟大师邀请赛，而今天将进行的是魔兽争霸3黄金联赛冬季赛的半决赛和决赛。明天为各位送上的是守望先锋的大师赛。现在我们决赛的4位选手已经来到了舞台，我们再次把掌声送给他们。今天第1场半决赛是由中国的选手 LP42 迎战韩国的选手 Newbie Lin， 让我们为他们加油。同时，我们把画面交给2位解说。
Esports Masters Shanghai hosting WGL Winter 2019. It's an historic event here in Shanghai, and not only that we give out $70,000, not only that they crown a Warcraft 3 World Champion, but it's the last Frozen Throne World Champion. We started this journey in July with the qualifiers. Hundreds of people tried to get here. 20 made it to the main event in Shanghai that started exactly 1 week ago, and now we're down to the final 4.
Exactly. After 5 days of grueling competition, the best in the world have established themselves as the top 4. We have separated the wheat from the chaff, and yeah, now we have 2 Chinese, 1 Korean, and 1 Russian. Happy returning here to the top 4. The superstar from Europe once again looking good. He is the defending champion of WGL, but the other 3 are gunning for the title.
Absolutely. TH wants to be there again. He was a back-to-back champion just a year ago, and he has a little history with winning the last title. Remember 2013 WCG? That title was his. Of course, we didn't know that that tournament would come back. In the end, Lin was at the throne as well in 2016. When he just came back from the army, he's so hungry for that title. And we have 1 odd, 1 out. 1 player that has never been a world champion, that has never even been in a final of a world championship, and that is Romantic.
Didn't even play in the last WGL. His rise this year was really meteoric. Especially online has been impressing us incredibly, and now making it the top 4 of the World Championship. And his is going to be our first game today, playing against Lin.
He will be against Lin. That is a high mountain to climb. But of course, we're down to the final 4, so every task is very, very challenging. Happy versus TH, a rematch from last year's semifinal. Afterwards, here the prize pool once again, $70,000 in total, $35,000 for the winner, $17,500 for the runner-up. It pretty much doubles with every round you advance.
And this first match is already going to be a really big one for the prize money. So you're obviously guaranteed $4,200. Making it top 2 will quadruple your money. Up to, yeah, more than 15K. That is going to be a very nice prize purse to take home. Happy last year already got quite rich here when he entered the competitive scene seriously. But Lin, he is, as you said, so hungry. We talked to him here previously. Last WGL wasn't his greatest tournament. Romantic wasn't even here. Yes, quite surprising to see, especially the young Chinese player here in the top 4.
Yeah, he had a year rest, but let's take a look at Lin. The second most decorated player in Warcraft 3 history, more than $400,000 to his chest. Multiple world championships, WCG, BlizzCon, you name it, he was there, he won it. And Romantic, this could be his very first final. How nervous is he? It's most likely the biggest stage he's ever been on. How can he deal with the pressure? He knows these stages since 2005. He's been in the scene for such a long time. Pretty much the only time where he wasn't here was his 2-year army duty.
Yep.
And when he came back from the Korean army, that was one rise to the top.
Unbelievable. Lin, for many, the best orc of all time. That includes the both of us, I believe. Unbelievable talent with that guy. Romantic himself, very talented, but we haven't seen him claim a world championship yet. We take a look at the bans here. Twisted Meadows removed by the human, as is always the case pretty much, and Tyrannus banned out from Lin. So we're getting rid of the big maps for the most part and going to be moving towards smaller ones. Best of 5 here. First to win 3 makes it to the finals.
Starting on Concealed Hill. We gotta say, Lin impressed us so much in the group stage. Not only is he the only player who's undefeated in the entire tournament, he only dropped 1 map in the entire tournament.
Yes.
And especially since it's the same matchup, we have to point out his stage match against TH. That was one domination with a new build that no one has really seen before. We talked to Lin and he said, Infi and TH, I showed them this build and they were laughing. What are you doing with the 2 Kodos? That's ridiculous. This does nothing. Well, he showed them.
Yeah, Lin always on the forefront. He really is the ultimate weapon. Not only is his execution, his micro, his decision-making always crisp, he comes up with the best new strategies. And in this matchup, Orc versus Human, where Orcs had been struggling for a really long time, and many Orcs still are, Lin seems to have found the answer. And now it's up to the humans, like Romantic, to find the counter to Lin to be able to beat him. And yeah, this must have been a scary preparation for Romantic.
Yeah,
he must have been checking the replays. Obviously, he must have been checking the game against TH, and TH was 2-0'd. And it wasn't really because TH made big mistakes. He really did not. It was just Lin not allowing anything. Just
absolutely outstanding.
Just unbelievable plays by him. Lin in this matchup currently extremely scary, and it feels like Romantic has to show something new. It feels like he can't just play this without surprise and hope to win here.
I definitely agree. It is the best matchup of Romantic versus Orc. He's been really scary. And he even scared Lin a little when, like a couple of months ago, 3 months ago maybe. That was when Romantic came back from his little break of Warcraft 3. I got the feeling that his unique playstyle that separates him from TH and Infi was undiscovered and people had to prepare for it, people had to adjust to it, and they did. The first 2 months, Romantic won pretty much every weekly cup.
Yep.
Everything there was, made super far deep runs into tournaments. But the last 6 weeks, it feels like everyone has the solution. So it's up to him, as you say. He has a very aggressive play style at times. So I wonder if it's the key for him to put Lin under pressure, to not let his game unfold, and just, yeah, try to dominate, but it's so rough against Lin.
Yeah, I like what you say here. Put him under pressure and don't let him unfold everything he wants to, because it seems like Lin has the perfect game plan.
Yeah.
Aggressive early on with a Farseer, try to slow down your opponent, get your tech ready, get a second base at a certain point, and there really seems to be this trend with all of Lin's games versus Human, and it just he has mastered it. He knows how to play it, he knows when to go for what precisely, and it's just working out beautifully. And if you just let him do what he wants, yeah, this is going to be really problematic. Romantic, they have, as you said, quite the history in WGL, among other tournaments. Lin used to be especially afraid of Romantic, actually, these legendary Tier 2 pushes with Beastmaster and so on. But that was a long time ago.
Meta of the past.
Yeah. Nowadays, we don't have Tower Rushes anymore. We don't have Beastmasters anymore. It's a very different meta indeed. unless Romantic can successfully play something from the past. He's trying that with tanks even in other matchups. But does that still work against this Lin, who is still so strong and ready with the new meta?
Let's see about that. It has happened before. Romantic eliminated Lin once before in a Gold League, and that was quite an upset back then. Can he do that again? Or will he find himself in the game for third? It's quite interesting in this Final Four. We have all 4 clans represented that have a big Warcraft 3 team. Here, of course, we have Newbie and LP Club. In the other semi-final, we're going to see the Rogue Warriors with TH against Lucky Future, of course, represented by Happy. So which team is going to make it to the final? What regions are going to make it to the final? We have 2 Chinese, as you said, 1 Korean, and especially the Chinese. They have to make up for something. 1 year of disappointment for China. Not only that they lost the dominance over the Gold League by not winning the title, they didn't even make it to the finals.
Yeah.
This shall not happen again.
Map 1, we're loading in. Romantic, the underdog. Can he make it happen here? This would be quite the tremendous performance by him. After his hiatus, coming back, making it to the finals of the biggest tournament we have in the scene. Biggest prestige. This will be the World Championship. And we go into our first match.
These 2 players met twice on this very patch. Both games went to Lin. In general, though, if we take all their history into account, Romantic leads in the direct comparison with 5-2. That's quite an impressive stat, I feel. But as I said, or as we said, this is a different matter. In the bottom left, for China, for LP Club, this is Romantic, also the youngest player in the top 4. And it's a clash of generations because Lin, 32 years old, June Park. He's in the upper right, representing Newbie and South Korea.
And what we see from the very get-go here is quite interesting already. We were anticipating and feeling that Romantic is the one who has to play something outside the norm, perhaps, to get an advantage somehow against the so powerful-looking Lin. But it's Lin himself skipping the barracks, going only for the altar, only for the Farseer, going to be playing with the hero alone for quite a while. Means, with there being no barracks, with there being no grunts, that aggressive potential and just his general strength is going to be rather low early on. So against a player like Romantic, especially, who has shown time and time again how he likes to play aggressively early on already, this looks like a bit of a risk. But if Lin believes he can totally get away with that, then who are we to question?
It will be really interesting if Romantic can find the timing to attack the burrows before they get fortified defenses. That is the Achilles heel of every orc, and this is what Romantic maybe has to go for. To just showcase how dominant Lin was since September, he has won the past 2 tournaments, the CC Masters Cup and the CC Masters Qualifier #1. He's also won the October Qualifier for WGL, and he has won his, he's undefeated since September against Orc. Against humans, sorry. No one can beat him anymore. Not Infi, not Romantic, not Tomiko, not Sok, not TH in the group stage. It has to happen here now for Romantic.
But map 1 so far, at least as the opening goes, not looking too good. Normally, the Orc will always creep here and conceal. The first camp is just so valuable, so Fortitude, aka Romantic, went for a bit of a gamble here, going for the big creep early on, hoping not to get harassed. But he did get harassed. The Farseer showed up. Wait a minute.
Wow.
He stole the last hit.
Yes.
I didn't even see that for the longest time, but here we saw it. The experience on the Farseer is exactly the same as the Archmages. 1.6, that is a catastrophe. When you go for a big creep like this with so many militia, this will slow down your tech. Your tech is already later than that of the Orc. But the benefit you get, the trade-off, is the big experience for the quick level 2. But Lin, last hit stole with the Farseer, which has really low damage, by the way.
So hard to do to get the last hit with the Farseer, indeed. Also, a couple of workers dead. This will delay pretty much everything that Romantic was trying for. He wanted to go into Lin's base to cause some trouble, to kill maybe the shop, to get rid of the heal selves or the clarities or the speed scrolls, to take away from Lin's mobility and take away from Lin's skills and health. But no, this doesn't work. The Korean is there, defending like a champ he wants to become.
A player's forces are under attack.
First mind game of a series like that.
He knows it again, right?
Going to the opponent always hurts.
Romantic wants to creep the turtles. But Lin is already there. The Militia were on the way. Romantic
is
sent
under
them
siege.
back. He is still stuck on tier 1. This means no Brilliance Aura. This means no extra mana regeneration. And that results in less Water Elementals, which is of course less damage and less creep speed. Now the tech.
That is so late.
That's an entire tech behind.
Yeah, that's up. That should be around 2 minutes.
Players'
Sells the
forces are
Scroll
under
of the
attack.
Beast as well, gets the circle instead. This series is not starting off well at all for Fortitude, the underdog.
What does it do to him now? Being for the first time in a final, or for the second time in a Final Four, but by far on the biggest stage, with by far the most prize money involved, and you start game 1 of a best of 5 with not really a mistake, but with a situation like this. This must put him under so much pressure.
I hope that he has the mental fortitude, excuse my pun, to shake this off, because yes, it was a bit of a gamble of an opening for him, and if you go for something like that, you have to be mentally ready that, okay, this could get punished. I'm hoping it's not getting punished, but it did. So yeah, he knows he's behind now, he knows his tech is pretty late, but at least this is familiar waters for Romantic. He pretty much, not always, but very often will go for a late tech and heavy footman usage early instead. However, normally what he gets from that is level 3 AM, which is always a big cornerstone, by the way, for Orcs in this matchup. You want to delay level 3 Archmage to delay the level 2 Water Elementals by a long time, makes everything in the mid-game quite a bit easier. But this AM isn't even remotely close to level 3. This is not what Romantic is hoping for.
Romantic is getting the shop again, so no clarities, no nothing, no items for Lin. And he's catching up in tech slowly, goes for a lumber mill. Just because he's not low on lumber. Is this a desperate tower push attempt with something Firelord, Beastmaster?
Could be that if he wants to go back to old days, but with a level 1 Water Elemental only, that is always very, very, very hard to do.
Also, there's a workshop, like a lumber mill already, so there can be towers, there can be demolishers, and Lin is the best tower rush defender in the world.
Could also be that he's just going for the lumber mill to have a safety guard tower in the main. Orcs always capable of going for the Windrider harass.
With the second Water Elemental, this might be the necessary damage. And what a crucial timing for Romantic, keeping Lin stuck at 36 supply. The first Kodo is there, is the second one out. And how many Shaman? This might be crucial to the mid game. How many Shaman can he get out to gather mana, and how many purges will he have?
Yeah, this was honestly a big mistake by Lin. Very unnecessary. He only had 3 peons in range to repair when he had seen the AM in the footies for quite a while. Yeah, that borrow will slow down production, and it did cost some lumber, so yeah, it does end up costing quite a bit of gold here in the early stages of the mid-game. And as we mentioned earlier, normally with his new playstyle, Lin will always try to expand on tier 2 early rather than later. TC is going to be solo creeping. The gold mine pretty soon, I'm sure, and the Farseer still harassing, slowing down this AM. So this was a nice little Burrow kill, but this was kind of the only thing going right so far, really, for Romantic this game. His second hero still isn't out. This is going to be a 2-level advantage for this TC very soon. When the MK comes out, he cannot start to look for a fight for a very long time, which perfectly fits Lin's plans of going for an expansion here pretty soon. Unless he changes his mind about that, but normally he will always add the second base pretty much at this point.
There's still some potential to do something with the footman, maybe dive for the burrows again. And I really like that he goes for the early potion, because Lin is so ruthless when it comes to hero kills. Of course, for Orcs for a long time it was End Snare, Hex, Critical Strike and Windwalk attacks from the Blade Master, but this has quite changed, since now we got Purge, we got Stomp, and we got Chain Lightning.
And that might even be scarier. Hard to tell. Orcs always very well able to look for hero kills, and especially when the TP is missing and your opponent has Purge, super scary. But TP is still there. Finally, Romantic is getting some creeping done, but guess what? Big camp here is the most important one Lin is getting. And ideally, humans want to harass here, want to kill some units, want to slow this down. But this early game was so poor for Romantic. He's so weak right now, he can't really contest. And there we go. TC has level 3, Pendant of Energy. And that is the 2-level advantage on the second heroes. MK is at least going to get level 2 level up here. But he really wants level 3 himself. And Lin now has a big window. Lin could easily look for a fight right now and probably get a very favorable engagement.
Maybe going for creep spots first seems to be a rather calm mid-game so far. So Lin gives Romantic some time. Moves out now though. Romantic is going for his natural expansion himself. Good scouting by both players. They know exactly where the other is. Romantic going for that gamble. Lin could punch here, but this army looks rather small.
Lin spread out his forces. He wanted to have a Purge Shaman available at the expansion to cancel Water Elementals to make sure the expansion comes up. And the Farseer is also not here, but he's staffing in. Big Stomp as well.
My God, he hits the entire army. Everything is poisoned now. The Wyvern is in as well. How can Romantic defend it? It's looking really dire. He's trying to go for this, and I think Lin got it.
There's more mana on the TC. There's plenty more mana on the TC. Pennant of Energy stolen. 2 Pennant of Energy now for Lin.
Oh my God, this is so much damage. The casters are suffering bad. And the Kodo Beast with the Lightning Shield moves it out, but there was quite some damage. Here comes the next stomp. The AoE for Lin is pretty sick.
I don't know if Lin has lost anything so far. The Kodo's going to be falling, and that's going to be a big kill as well. Gets it. Level 3 for the AM. Good level up for him also. But the MK is close to out of mana. However, over time here, the Brilliance Aura is kicking in. A bit of heal perhaps from the Priest, and Romantic's fighting an okay fight, but Lin still looking for more kills. AM in trouble. TP force. Kodo is gonna die. Romantic gets that one on the way out, but a little bit more experience, level 3 now for the Farseer. And what we talked about earlier, TP gone now. This game is still extremely scary for the human.
Yeah. What can he do now? Both lost around 10 supply. Lin, of course, the 2 Kodos. That's quite big. The 10% damage aura is gone. Synergy with Iron especially is really, really good. For Romantic, though, mostly Footmen out, right? Footmen and Militia. A couple of casters. We see the first Dragonhawks countering the Wyvern. But Lin is aggressive. Look at this. He wants to engage right away. Punch again. There's no TP anymore.
Mana is very low on Lin, by the way. Has barely any spells to use.
We have 1 Chain Lightning. The first breakers are out. We will most likely not have control magic yet, but there should be the spell against the wolf, so we will rather switch to Chain Lightning by now.
Militia coming back in from the main, and this looks like the first ill-advised fight by Lin. Not really any reason for him to look for another engagement. His expansion is about to be up. There's a tower up there as well. Instead, he could have fallen back, could have gotten for clarities, could have gone for mana pots as well, which have insane synergy with Penance of Energy.
Got the Mountain King level 3, and we see the strength of Stormbolt in the mid-game.
Yeah.
So many pickoffs.
Makes all the difference. But Lin still eager to keep on trading. He has the TP to get out if it should become necessary. But MK's out of mana now, and no sorceresses at all.
Oh, big shackle on the Wyvern. Can he somehow get him out? I think the position for the Dragonhawk is pretty much perfect. So over time, he will kill that Wyvern.
But Lin is not being thwarted so easily. He just keeps on looking for these kills. The Wind Rider did die. That may have been a level up.
To be honest, for this early game, I'm pretty impressed with what Romantic is playing. Next Stormbolt for the next Kodo, and that's the third one going to die. Oh, Speed Scroll for pretty much nothing. Tries to disengage now. Grunts are falling. Shaman in the back low as well. 1 Stomp to stun the Mountain King. There is an Invul Potion. The nuke here is not enough for now.
And there's no sorceresses at all. Really surprising. Normally, sorceresses is one of the biggest strengths of human against orc, especially when there's no walkers involved for AoE Dispel. Lin now is moving away from his bases, going further south. If he can force the human army here in this direction and then TP back home perhaps to save his forces, this could be a good play by him. MK has 1 more Stormbolt again, could be an easy kill here on Grunt.
He could go for the Grunt or go for the Kodo again. The breakers are pretty close. If he gets this around, that's the next Kodo dead and the next caster back.
TP, is it enough?
Close! Not getting it. Okay. But since the unit is still in the Kodo's stomach, there will be vision for Romantic. And he knows where Lin is going, how aggressive he's going to be. Both at 50 food. Dude, for this early game, this is super impressive mid-game by Romantic. How he was able to survive this. Breaking upkeep now.
Gauges that he has to go all in. Not gonna try for the counter expansion, which is not so popular for the humans. big camp as well. AM might be hitting level 4 here, and these level 4s for AM and MK both are really good.
Lin sees it. He has to go for the high ground. Big one goes to Lin, and it's the endurance aura. Really good to have extra movement speed, especially with that clap that's coming soon. Stormbolt to disengage against the TC, but a big stomp nonetheless. TC has an Invo Potion, has to go for it soon. Archmage under pressure. Heal Potion is the only thing that can save him. He's trying to swap the Invul, and it works. First hero alive, second hero naked though, and both could drop in the next seconds of this fight.
Oh, this is looking scary. AM under pressure again, and getting zapped and killed off.
First hero killer of this game, but counters around by Romantic. Very big counter here, and he kills the TC. The disable is gone, and the aura is gone as well. The perfect reaction from the Chinese. Yes, he lost his first hero. That's expensive. He could rebuy it from the tavern soonish, I guess, to get the aura back. Lin, though, with a double income, he should be able to do the same and re-engage here.
Yeah. Here the expansion really comes in big now. Romantic's fighting okay, he's trading okay, kind of, but he doesn't have the 2 base income. Lin, with a superior early game, secured the second base, and now it's just gonna have way superior numbers. Look at the supply, guys. It's 20 in favor of the Orc. AM gets bought back, he brings back the aura, and that's a big deal, that's a massive deal. MK has to survive. If he dies, this game is certainly over, but the priests are doing a good job here, keeping this human army alive. However, still no Sorks, still no slow. These Orc units, not that easy to deal with.
Also, no invisibility. We have seen so many great invisibility plays throughout not only this tournament, but the past couple of months in Warcraft 3, and that is completely missing from Romantic's playstyle. Where is the invisible Mountain King? Maybe he saves that for level 4 or saved that for level 4 and will implement it now. That can be the X factor. If you see the Mountain King, you can control the Mountain King. But if he pops out of nowhere, you stun pretty much the entire army. Lin, greedy, not going for a Tavern Revive.
Yeah, it looked like he should have done that, but I think he's right. Like, where's really the threat?
Yeah.
Is the base dying right now?
No.
Is he losing army?
No.
Is he losing the expansion?
No.
This is 4 priests and a breaker.
Yeah.
There's no
damage.
pressure on him really to instantly get the second hero back. Smart choice. Lin was sitting at, what was that, 800 gold? He could have bought back the TC, but why?
The only answer is, I guess, because he can, but what can Romantic do now? Is there one big push in him? He has to spend resources on army, on maybe even tech and items. That is so... How does he want to break this? Can he creep the Mountain King to 5? But it's so hard. I really like how Lin is using Chain Lightning, by the way. There's constantly damage on the casters.
Yeah, and he's very close to 5, which is most likely going to be Chain Lightning.
Yeah, it's 1,000 damage.
This army is so big now. 30 supply lead almost.
The thing is, Romantic can't even buy time because the expansion is starting ticking, or is constantly ticking against him. Now we see Sorks.
Quad Kodo, by the way.
Okay, I mean with Lin,
5 Kodos!
With Lin's control and speed scroll, why not? The biggest threat for the TC is mass breakers.
Yeah.
If Romantic ever goes to that number, it's just dinner time for the Kodos, and he picks them up one by one. And then what? The breaker line is gone, the blocker line is gone, there's no feedback against this TC, there's no tanks for a surround, he has to play with the casters only.
Yeah.
This is genius. This is so rare.
There's 1 Kodo for every breaker.
Yeah.
Of course, thanks to the big economic lead here that Lin has managed to secure for himself. And yeah, mass breakers has been the biggest issue for Orcs for many, many, many months now. If humans get to the late game with the high-level heroes, big caster numbers, and mass breakers, it's extremely hard to deal with that. The way you do it is with a superior economy. And Lin, yeah, is playing this game really well so far. Assaulting the base now, forcing the human to fall back. He knows there's no TP anymore, so it's going to take a while. There's going to be more kills as well on the buildings, perhaps a bit of pillage money.
No shop means no breakers. The tech tree is blocked, and yeah, he's trying to get in with Lightning Shield. He's going for the altar. I think Romantic needed those 2 trolls for that level 5. I mean, you get less experience for creeps the higher your hero is, but could still been enough. I'm not too sure. TC is so close to 5. 1 more kill is level 5. He picked up the Sorks. There's still no... Okay, 1 Sork now. But this was the Dispel. This is level 5. It's a 5-second stun on a 6-second cooldown.
And it's the heroes right there. Breakers, of course, not affected, but the AM certainly is. Reveal coming in. So Invis can't save him. Invul can, for a little bit at least. Another big chain lightning. The next stomp is ready, but the TC in trouble. Has to go for his own Invul right there. Hero kill is the only option for Romantic, but maybe it's his own hero dying first. It certainly is. Chain lightning zaps the AM again. He's dead. He's looking for the counter kill. Perhaps he's gonna get it, but then again, this TC is so fast with the aura, and everything is falling apart now for the human.
And that's the first GG of this Final Four day here in Shanghai. Lin, the favorite that he is, prevails with a great early game, with insane last hits, with good control and magnificent decision making. Every skill you need to become the champion, he displayed it here.
Yeah, super solid. One single mistake, overextending over at the lab when he didn't have mana. That cost him definitely more kills than he needed to suffer, but it was all right. His early game prior to that was so good, and his late game moving on from there also was outstanding. Lin showing us why he is one of the biggest favorites here in this tournament, why he is the first ranked player in the international ELO ranks.
And not only that, he has the highest ELO number that has ever been accomplished. No Happy, no Moon during their reigns and their dominance could achieve 2,365 ELO points. Only Lin.
Yeah. Thinking back on that game strategically, by the way, Romantic did go for that gamble early on with the lab, and I think that's oftentimes a good call. Normally orcs will creep one camp and then you have one greedy little edge from the early. But why on Concealed? Concealed is one of the maps which is best for level 3 AM creeping, safe level 3 AM creeping.
I think you have to do something special against Lin. We mentioned this in the pregame. You have to do something risky. If you just play normal, he is microing circles around you. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So going for that gamble is the right idea and also the right attitude, I feel. But now he lost it. Like, he took the gamble. It didn't work out. I was still impressed, though, by his fighting skills in the middle of the game before the expansion really paid off. Of course, Lin invested 400 gold roundabout into that Great Hall. But in a straight-up fight, there should be chances for Romantic. And if that last hit didn't happen, if the Archmage is on a higher level earlier, the expansion is way delayed, and maybe Romantic can get that advantage. I really like his move to go into Lin's base, to try to disrupt him, go for that burrow. That burrow kill timing was very precise, I feel, and very well executed.
Yep.
There's definitely chances for the 24-year-old Chinese to at least get closer to an upset. But at the moment, it remains the same. Lin is not losing. Only one map throughout the entire tournament. Mr. Undefeated goes with a lead into map 2, and that is Last Refuge.
Last Refuge is one of the maps where sometimes we will see something a bit outside the norm. Is Romantic going to be feeling so desperate here that he's perhaps going to try a fast expansion? It's not really a good map for that. The only good map for that we have is Echo Isles, but it's kind of a doable map. Or is he going to do something completely weird? There used to be a short period of time where we saw some Paladin first plays, but not really by him. Lin?
Yeah, it's interesting. Lin's best map in the direct match against Romantic are Concealed Hill, that's the map 1, and Last Refuge, that's the second best. So, interesting pick by Romantic for sure. I want to move back in time a little to, when was that? When Romantic played the Open Qualifier Finals against TH. Because until that point, he tower rushed every orc there was to great success. And then came TH, switched from human to orc, and showed him, dude, this is so easy to defend, don't play this anymore. And he stopped doing it. Will there be a game in the semifinal where Romantic is trying it again, where he's not giving up on his big strength to tower push?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. Tower Rush, though, always looked the best against Blade Master. Melee hero being limited to, you know, attack different targets. Farseer, with the range and the wolves and the early game strength, makes especially a tier 1 Tower Rush a really dangerous proposition. But yeah, it was one of Romantic's biggest strengths that Lin had for a long time. trouble dealing with. But again, it is a different meta nowadays. Same build by Lin again, by the way.
Yeah.
Not going for the barracks, even sending out a peon early, was ready to try to steal the Shadow Priest. This Rock Golem pull has been pretty popular against Farseer. Just pull out the creeps, don't creep the camp actually, but just go for the Shadow Priest, but Lin had an answer ready. However, that did involve a peon, that does cost lumber, so tech this time for Lin should be a little bit later. So, a better early game than game 1.
Definitely. Also close-up attack for the Archmage. Helps against the Wolf Harass that we see here once again. Resummons the Wolves to not give the easy experience to Lin, to Romantic. Uses some mana though. So now we have a little bit of a stalemate situation. Lin is very limited in what he can do. He can send the Wolves in. There's no tower yet, but Romantic, it feels like he has arrived.
Yeah, stable early game so far, and that's good for him to bounce back like that. The first, what was that? 3 minutes of game 1 was already a catastrophe that perhaps even threw him off a little bit. He's going to get his defense here ready, he's going to have his Arcane Tower, and then finally the Wolves aren't going to be that disruptive anymore. But again, Lin is playing it well. What is your big goal for the early game? Always slow down the AM. Don't let him creep up for free. Most importantly, don't let him get level 3 by tier 2. But if you can even prevent level 2, that's just outstanding. And so far, again, AM only level 1.
Okay, that's pretty good. What's the trend? How much faster the tech is this time, right? Even for Romantic standards, it's quite fast, I would say. Still a decent amount of footmen.
Yeah, 5 is kind of what we expect. If he goes any heavier, it's going to be a big commitment.
Yeah. Is this still enough to kill Burrows or the shop, though?
One of them is getting nicely banged up here in the front.
That's definitely a target for the tier 2. I love how he spreads his units, like this water elemental that he actually doesn't need at the moment for the creeping because he has a second one. Just send it away, send it to Lin's base, and prepare your next attack. Once again, no last hit by Lin. This is level 2 for the Archmage. And the Farseer has nothing.
It's a lot of damage on the AM, though. Perfect find, however. Replenishment potion. He's going to gladly pick that up. Here come the grunts. What were they doing this whole time?
Hiding? They didn't creep, right?
If he had been there with just one grunt at the green, this could have been much more problematic for the entire little force here of Romantic. Base is looking ripe for a bit of harass.
TC again, and the Beastery Lodge Warmill build again as well. Nice that Lin has these 2 grunts positioned to greet the Archmage, to cancel his healing. But can he cancel this tier 2 production building? That would mean no Kodo, later Wyvern, but the Archmage has to commit some damage as well.
TC's coming out soon. This is scary. This must be stopped now. Not aiming for the AM, surprisingly.
No, only Water Elemental and Footman, and I think the Footmen are healthy enough to just continue to right-click. Is the damage enough? No, he backs off. Archmage comes back in.
Not enough.
So risky.
And now he's got less than 100 HP. He committed to try to get this cancel, but he doesn't get it. He's low HP. He can't contest anymore. It's not as bad as game 1, but once again, this early game is not working out for Romantic.
What a crazy hold again. He knew this was coming. I mean, kind of everyone knew this would this would be coming. But Lin, perfect positioning, perfect reactions. There was mana for another Water Elemental, so he could have committed maybe again with the 2 healthy Footmen and the Water Elemental, but he didn't. Trying to get into a better mid-game now with creeping and the Mountain King.
Again looking in control. AM still far away from 3. That's kind of normal for LR though. It's really hard to creep up early if you don't get the Shadow Priest, and we saw Lin prioritizing this really heavily, not allowing him to get that Shadow Priest early. And now these footies still so hurt. Footies hurt, AM hurt. TC could be around the corner.
He's not, he's creeping up as well, and he knew it.
Oh, nice. That's actually a really good skill.
Yeah, this 1 Footman. We see it more and more that humans split this 1 Footman away in pretty much every matchup to get more scouting done. Not only the information, but to try to hurt production buildings, try to hurt burrows, try to get last hits, or block the second heroes. TC has arrived on tier 2, so he's a little faster. And again, the Archmage under pressure. This is a relatively new approach by Lin. I haven't seen an Archmage this low for this long.
Yeah, Priest comes in, and it's finally going to be some good healing. Always the issue for human with only the regen scroll. You don't really have good single target heal.
A little bit too far forward, but Lin immediately counter-surrounding.
And when you go for a surround like that, that's dangerous against the Stomp, which is ready. He's holding on to it.
So Fry controlled the TC quite nicely, but now the Mountain King finds himself in a similar situation. The Wolf block, and there's no way out for the Dwarf, or is there? He killed the Farseer.
Is it enough damage? It certainly seems like it is.
Yes, okay. So 1-for-1 trade on level 1 as well.
Oh, Militia coming in from the main. They've been running a long way.
TC is out of mana, right?
Players' forces are under attack.
Should have another Stomp kind of soon, but Speed Scroll. Lin backs off. He lost the Farseer and I believe one Shaman. Honestly, not the biggest losses. That can be bought.
Especially the Farseer Mountain King trade. Farseer is nice if you have him on a high level. Mountain King is absolutely necessary to have him on a high level.
Exactly. At least the AM can safely creep now, which is pretty good. He needs that level 3. He wants that level 4. Could it even be an alright idea to go Watch Elemental 1 and Aura 2 on level 3?
Yeah, with the Purges being in position now, or
good.
coming.
It might be good for the fights, but I guess LR creeps are pretty hard to take, and if you don't have Water Elementals too...
The thing is, do you want to kill the building while it is in production? Then you need the Water Elemental, I think. Or do you want to win the fights? Then mana is better.
Early Griffin Aviary once again. Dragonhawk will be joining to deal with these Wind Riders. And I was wondering if this was going to be a specific thing to game 1 where everything went wrong, but it seems to be continuing here for Romantic. No Sorks.
Yeah.
It's 2 priests into 2 breakers into more priests. No slow at all.
And the TC is level 3 already, so it's not like he's super under-leveled, so you don't have to worry about him too much. And you can't spam Stormbolt. And it is Aura 2, by the way. And a health potion again. We see a lot of hero focus here, and both are getting ready for it.
Expansion for Lin Standard is going to be really late.
Yes.
He's already at 50 supply. Oftentimes you will see Lin expand as early as 36 or something like that. But he's getting a lot off of this map.
He contains Romantic now. He definitely has map control. The Chinese tries to scout, doesn't see his opponent, I believe, but finds the time to get his mercenary camp finally. One of the biggest items available here on the map could be a True Shot Aura, which is nice. Sobi Mask, always much appreciated on the Mountain King for additional mana regeneration. But both find themselves at 50 supply. We see a Raider transition now.
Yeah, with there being so little slow, Raiders and Grunts actually become a lot better. This is why we saw mostly Orcs, especially Lin, moving away from melee, because Raiders and Grunts, when they're slowed, just do close to nothing.
Do they want to engage now? Level 2 Mountain King only.
A player's forces are under attack.
Militia being called. Okay, Romantic wants this. Big Stomp once again to open up this fight. The Dragonhawk focused immediately, and Purges arrive on the Water Elemental as well. Good start for Lin.
One Devour there. That was a big one on the Berserker. Not sure if the other 2 have eaten as well. Stomp, Chain Lightning combo, Speed Scroll trying to reposition. Dispel against the Speed Scroll. Romantic really wants to get this Kodo. He's gonna give him the Berserker back. He needs that Berserker back, but the Stomp covers the retreat. Kodo gets away. TC hits level 4, which is ridiculous speed. And
what a control. What a masterful fight by Lin. Nothing really works. He has to invest another Stormbolt to just threaten this Kodo Beast. It has to invest all the necessary damage, but the Purge is there to stop the Archmage. And without the hero damage, he can't get it, and he's surrounded. My lord, Lin is on a rampage once again.
MK uses last Stormbolt, but the AM dies. The Zap kills him again. That was, I believe, the 3rd time.
It keeps on happening that the pro players underestimate the Chain Lightning damage. Archmage is back now, but this might just repeat. This could just be a dieback. There's no mana on the TC, but more kills for Lin. We expected him to dominate, and he does.
Yeah, absolutely destroying Fortitude here so far, to be honest. Lin ran out of mana, but it's okay, he can still fight since he got so massively ahead with the kills earlier on the AM and on the other units as well. Perhaps this Kodo's gonna die, but that may not be enough. Wait, is he winning
Players'
this trade?
forces are under attack.
Oh, okay, the Kodo is gonna die. Something at least going the way of Romantic, but
2 Kodos saved, and that is so much damage that essentially gave him nothing. No experience, no units back. Mountain King in trouble as well.
TC goes to 5.
Yep.
What the hell?
It's like 1,800 damage contributed to Kodos, right? Without getting a kill.
Yeah. And that human army isn't the best at dishing out damage, so if it goes into the void,
You want to
that
disrespect
hurts.
Tillerman and said that the human army is not better than your army?
well, you know, there's other human armies, other comps, which have a lot of damage, but this is not one of them. Especially before the MK hits level 3. This level
Players'
discrepancy
forces
is
are under
ridiculous.
attack.
Yeah. And it's not like the
Ridiculous.
Archmage is running away and is close to 5 that could do something. Not really. Pretty on par with the Farseer, who again decides to go for Chain Lightning too, and that makes so much sense. He's recovering now. Can Romantic interrupt the healing at least? Get something done now. This healing, especially on the Kodos, will take some time. So close to 4. He'll scroll Invo Potion on him. Mountain King got the Scroll of the Beast, but for a human army without Riflemen, not the biggest addition. Chain Lightning again.
Level 4 for the Farseer and TC now dangerously close to level 5. He is gonna have it.
Yeah. 1 Purge again. Same situation as last time, right? 1 Purge is level 5. And then the Romper Stomper starts again.
Tough series.
Players' forces are under attack.
Nothing really is working out. He needs the levels. It sounds very simple and almost oversimplified, but it is what it is. You need the level 3 AM somewhat early. You need the level 3 MK somewhat in time, but it just never seems to be in time. And once again, very much like game 1, Lin with superior numbers, experience, items, and income, thanks to his 2 bases, finds himself with all the advantages. MK will finally get level 3, and the Book of the Dead might even find some use here.
And fighting uphill, it's a little bit too brave, maybe. Of course, Romantic can't really get out. There is a TP, but he can't walk out. It's a lot of breakers, but it's once again a lot of Kodos. And the priests, they have some healing, but that's about it.
Yeah, and again,
They do pretty much no damage.
now comes the sword.
1 Kodo Snipe was good. Level 4 the Archmage. Level 2 Water Mantle. The Storm is again ridiculous. Blizzard transition. Okay. But it's a level 1 Blizzard. He's trying to get some more damage in. Big potion on the TC. He stomps like he wants to. Mountain King, can he use the scroll before he dies? There we go.
Really good breaker positioning, honestly. Protecting these priests in the back perfectly. But again, the numbers advantage now so massively in favor of the Korean. Moving up the hill. And might finally be finding some kills. MK seems to be out of the fight. TP to reposition. Okay, the AM still had that. He's going to be able to get back behind his wall.
But the Mountain King is not with him. He has to walk. Okay, he bought a staff. But it's more resources that can't go into army. Romantic stays alive at the moment. Lin is at 1,000 gold at 62 supply. He can buy the entire shop right now.
Exactly. He's going to steal the heal scrolls, steal the invulns, and then you're going to have to play against this Purge and Stomp without invulns. This game isn't getting easier. It's getting harder for the human.
He needs exactly this. Slow Stormbolt pickups. And then bank a little and put everything into one big push. Then, of course, we'll be expecting this. There's a tower already. The second building could be a shop. Gambles for the red spot. Punishable, for sure.
This no barracks tech just seems to be making more and more sense. If you play this Farseer as well as Linus, you can hold off anything just with the Farseer. And then you get the tier 2 advantage of the timing of the second hero, and the TC will always spiral out of control with levels compared to the MK.
What if you get hit by a Firelord Tower push?
That's a good question. Can you hold that with only a Farseer and a Burrow?
I don't know.
Worth a consideration. Jumiko used to be Mr. Firelord Tower Push, but I'm sure Romantic can play that as well. He has played a lot of tower pushes. in his
He
day.
played that against TH in July. But that was still different meta. 3 Wyvern.
Players force
And
each other to
Raiders.
attack.
And the Stomp. And soon to be level 3 Chain Lightning. For again, the 1000 damage. It's not really worth going for a Tome of Retraining for Romantic, right? He's just breaking upkeep. Because one of the skill points is pretty much useless. Level 1 Blizzard, not too strong. Level 1 Water Elementals, dispelled immediately.
It's too expensive, I think. He needs more army. He's already down. 20 supply. He's going to try it again. That was a nice looking Blizzard, but yeah, it is only level 1.
So fast how he dispels the Blizzard, or cancels the Blizzard with Entangle. And now the Archmage is once again down to like, what, 10%? And the Raiders are blocking. Must have another net soon. The Stomp disables the entire caster backline, and the Wyvern eat them alive. Trying to go for the fast here, but that doesn't work either, as there's an Invu Potion. And Lin convincingly taking map number 2 as well. Not breaking a sweat, not blinking once. 2-0-3 match points in a row.
We've seen a lot of games here from Lin so far this tournament, this last a little bit more than 1 week. And not only is he winning, but he is crushing his games.
He's not making mistakes. He's not making any mistakes. He constantly has the right army composition for the right time. He constantly has vision on his opponent. He constantly jacks when it's time to jack, and he constantly expands when it's time to expand. How many times, especially in the matchup versus Undead, for example, have we seen Lin with an expansion too early or too late? This is just not happening anymore. He's not losing games because of this. His major weakness that he had in like the first 6 months of the year is just gone. It's vanished.
It's so impressive. You always know that you have one of the greats in front of you when he single-handedly makes a matchup look imbalanced in his favor when everyone else is struggling the other way around.
Yeah, it's not like Romantic is bad against Orc, or that the matchup in general is very one-sided. No, Romantic is beating the Focuses, the Flies, the Soins, the Shao KKs of the world.
Yeah. But Lin is just on another level again.
As I said, since the midst of September, no Orc could beat Lin in even a best of 3. And this is a best of 5, which makes things a lot harder.
Yeah, for all the Lin fans, this is so great to see. Last WGL was very disappointing for him. Only 9th to 12th place. The early year, in fact, it seemed like Focus was actually looking quite a bit stronger. Looked like Lin was giving up the crown of the Orcs, but he has certainly reclaimed it. Only Orc in the top 8, and now 1 step away from the grand final. Lin is also ambitious this tournament, by the way. He said anything other than the title, first place, will be a disappointment to him.
GCS Fall 2016, the only time where Lin made it to the top 2. He was in the final 4 just a year ago, but was pretty much demolished by Infi when Infi played Night Elf against him. Back then, he was defeated by 1-2-0 in one of the best Gold League finals we have ever had. But what is going through the mind of the 24-year-old kid, Romantic? What is his chance? What are his options? I think he has to try it. I think he has to all in it.
Yeah. Normally, I'm never a big fan of all-in strategies, but it just seems like Lin is just bulletproof against everything else. And on paper, Firelord Tower Push should work, but you have to play that blindly. And what if there's a barracks this time? It's probably game instantly.
That makes things a lot harder for sure. Yeah, maybe there is reverse psychology now that Lin is aware of the possibility of that tower push and is going for the barracks, so then you can play a normal style and it's working better. This is why we love the RTS genre so much, because of exactly this. First we need to know the map, and then...
Yep. And perhaps there's a special opening that Romantic has prepared. We saw one actually in a human mirror, where against Hawk on Echo Isles, there was a really specific build by Romantic that made a lot of sense and gave him a nice lead into the mid game. And it feels like he needs a lead like that.
Yeah, feels so too.
Map 3 will be, it's looking a little bit confusing. Northern Isles, I guess?
Echo Isles, right? Second pick by Romantic should be Echo Isles, if I read the graphic correctly. Since last Refuge was his first pick, and Echo Isles is his last pick.
You're right.
right, what can you do on Echo? Definitely a tower push.
Are we going to go back to that strategy, which is so unpopular nowadays? Romantic, does he have to play something like this?
It's do or die. He has to win this map now, or he will play the game for third against the loser of Happy versus TH, which is our second semi-final. Will it again be a Korean in the final? We've had a very long drought until WGL Winter 2018. No Korean was able to take it, and then came Moon.
Yeah, with the performance of a lifetime, where in a tournament against all the best players in the world, he looked head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah. So, Romantic. With his last chance in the upper left in the blue, Lin will continuing his smooth sailing into the grand final of the biggest tournament of the year in the upper right in the red. Loliot for Newbie was eliminated in the group stage, in the group of death where Lin found himself as well. 1-0 was eliminated by Happy in the quarterfinal. Of course, Newbie, one of the biggest Chinese clans, wants to see one of their players in the grand final. Finally, it seemed to be that there was this little Newbie curse when it came to big tournaments, at least. Always dominated by Rogue Warriors, or Moon, or Happy. This entire year, we haven't had a Newbie success. Loliot was close at the H&W Masters, but Moon was too strong. So, for his country and his team, Lin needs only one more map.
And seems like he is very trusting in his build, which, yeah, is quite... I mean, we see it sometimes, but this no barracks tech is absolutely not the meta yet. But I got a feeling we're going to see it a lot more after this tournament. Peon being sent out, just the same opening as it was on LR, trying to prevent the Shadow Priest pickup. And that seems to be successful. Farsi are going to be instantly harassing once again with that super fast tech. Romantic will be following up his tier 2 a little bit later. And yeah, what else can he do now? How can he manage to find a more successful early game? I believe it has to come down a lot to the levels, get level 3 AM somewhat quickly. But this is not really the best map for this. Green camps are creepable, yes, but everything else is too hard to take. Lin will be there, Lin will punish you, and you will be losing the game possibly right there.
Fast attack by Romantic this time, again skipping on the Arcane, making the harass with Wolves a little easier, but the claws that Romantic found, again, helping a bit against that. Lin with an easy shot this time, no, not cancelled. And Romantic has to protect his workers first. No progress.
Isn't he playing a little bit too afraid?
Feels like it, huh? But what can he do now?
He could have run down south, past his gold mine, go to the green camp, creep that. Yeah, you're going to take some damage. Yeah, you're going to lose a footy or two. But I think that has to be the sacrifice. Without levels, this is just hopeless.
It feels like he doesn't want to contest creep camps with Lin at all after the steal after 2.5 minutes on CH.
Opening into the base also a little bit questionable. Makes it so that if the Farseer was to run away to creep elsewhere on the map, actually the AM wants to do that, then the Farseer can go in along with a Grunt even and attack the peasants.
It's coming. Lin plays it rather more aggressively than before, where the Grunt was a little missing in the early harass. But didn't die, so everything alright.
Still levels for AM.
Yeah.
This is not good at all.
Again, a demonstration of Orc Tier 1 force.
Look how afraid he is.
Players' forces are under
Could
attack.
try
anything.
that level 2 here a while ago at the green, but Romantic's just not creeping it. He's summoning more water elements, but not for creeping, just for defensive purposes. He's so dry on mana now.
At 60. This will take forever until he can summon another one. And what can he get done with this? I'm not too sure because Lin going for his patented build again. Barracks into Lodge, into Warmill. 3 times the same build, and it works every single time because his Farseer play is so great. Now they contested this. Now he got the level 2.
Finally.
But this, I don't know, 4.5 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, yes, Echo is not a very good creep map early game for Human, but it shouldn't be this bad. Lin once again managed to achieve what he wanted to. He slowed down the AM. He made sure level 3 is far away, and now he's got his tier 2 buildings up. We saw the Warmill, by the way, being a little bit late. That might be a mistake. Normally we see the Kodos coming in right away, so perhaps it's going to force Lin to go into Windrider first, which doesn't have to be bad. But the double Kodos we have seen being very effective now a couple of times.
You see again with Aura first, so the Archmage can be a little safe, as there is no stun. I feel like this is a little too one-dimensional by Romantic. Same as we said in the quarterfinal by some players, that they don't vary their build. For example, Czech was challenged by Lin a lot, and the first game was madness. Lin going tier 3, bloodlusted everything.
That was a fun game.
Getting the last year again. Yeah, but after that, Czech changed his timings, Czech changed his builds, and was able to take the map. And I don't see this happening for Romantic at all.
Yeah. No fast expansions, no tower pushes, no greedy creep camps. Everything is just super predictable for the Human player. Went for a early heal pot. He wasn't even low HP. Shows you in what mental state he is in this game. He's just super afraid, and it looks like
he did that before, and I kind of liked it. The Archmage is once again down to half HP, but he's facing this time a level 1 Farseer. He knows there's no Chain Lightning. There's only Stomp, and the TC was creeping solo. So this potion was absolutely not necessary.
It looks like he's playing afraid, and he's playing not to lose instead of playing to win.
True. And that's not championship material so far.
TC once again, he came up nice and early. He's solo creeping. Farseer is harassing. TC finds himself at level 2.6. If he gets the Merchant, that is his level 3. Merchant might be contested, but Lin knows about it. Because why? Because the scouting is always there. This Farseer, all Wolves, have completely had all information of the opponent's whereabouts for the entirety of the game.
It's a little bit like the story of the tournament, right? Last year it was, for example, creeping techniques or skeleton usage. And this year it seems to be scouting. Oh, can he reach for the stop?
That was close.
Okay, down to 50%. And again, investment into stat.
Decent creep drag here though. The TC this time for once is not level 3 before the first big creep fight. So perhaps it's going to be a decent engagement now for Romantic. Militia are coming from the main, perhaps a little bit late. Kodo Beast gets the Devour off, but will get stunned, but only level 1 Stormbolt. And what's missing? Water Elementals. Where is the follow-up damage? We have nothing. Hero right clicks plus footies. That's trying to kill these Kodos, but it's not killing them.
Also, no blocks. Like, if you see a Chimiko game, there would always be a footman in front of the Kodo trying to block, and now he switches the target. Again, wasted damage on the Kodo Beast that don't end up anywhere. Big potion on the Mountain King to save him, but is that the last grace for Romantic? Is that his elimination from the semifinal? Dodges the Stormbolt with an invul. Of course he does.
Heroes all here, running out of mana. One grunt is at least going to die. That is a kill, I guess, that is dearly needed. And the Militia still blocking the way pretty well over here. Damage on both sides is rather low. We have a Wind Rider. That's the only thing that's really dealing good DPS.
And there's no solution to it. For once, the Dragonhawk transition seems to be a little late. Here we go, Shackle. Wyvern retreating immediately, and so is Lin's entire army, who has an expansion up, but very early in the build. Here comes the Shackle, but Focus fired immediately. This Wyvern this time will not fall. Here's the level 3 TC, got the mana, got the stun, here's the damage. Farseer with a Chain Lightning finally. Is this the end for the Mountain King now? He's rather low.
Makes it away just
Archmage tries to force the TP or the potion or both. Potion first, but can't swap it anymore. That should have been the last bit of mana though, but he's still chasing with the purchase.
And on the retreat, especially the priests here, easy to pick off with the piercing damage. Kodo Beasts, the damage is even noticeable against these priests.
The Farseer is getting a heal scroll. And look at the value of this heal scroll. Everything will be green again. Not only the skin of the orcs, but also the health bars. And he's not even forced to use it because Romantic has pretty much nothing.
MK, mana's ticking up. He's about to have a Stormbolt here again. Long range Shackle. Finally something going right. Lin may have to TP out of this. Heal Scroll being used first. But is that enough?
Almost just surrounded that TC, but can't really get it. What hero will fall first? Oh, Dragonhawk against Wyvern. The Wyvern even stays alive! 2 Dragonhawks for 1 Wyvern. That's not a trade you want.
And the Kodo gets away.
And the Kodo gets away again. Of course the Kodo gets away.
Such a scrappy fight. Both these players have barely anything left, but it's all time. Remember, most importantly for the expansion, AM in trouble. Purge again, may have to use the TP, and he again doesn't do it. One more time, the Chain Lightning finishes off the first hero. And this might be how the series ends, but first we have a buyback.
Okay, but will he just die once again? Here's another Purge. He's chasing, right-clicking, TP this time. The Kodo, don't tell me it gets away again. No, not this time. But speaking of not getting away, this Mountain King not in range for the TP. But gets
no mana for the Purge, so MK should be safe. Or is
Can
he?
Block, or is there another Purge?
TC is faster with the aura, but apparently not fast enough. That was close. Romantic almost won that fight, but in the end he didn't. That heal scroll, my goodness, what a swing.
Sending the Farseer away from that fight, missing his damage, missing his spells, missing the summons, but it was once again the right call. It was once again the perfect moment for the perfect item, and of course he had the resources. And this was the fight that defends his expansion. During the fight he invested 400 gold into a second gold mine that did not go into the army, while Romantic was just pushing for army and supply. And there you go, there's the result. It's counter expansion time now. Doesn't have the resource, does he? No. Nor the supply, nor the ability to defend.
Again, Expo comes up, Lin survives the mid game, and he finds himself economically ahead. Once again, super tough spot now to play from for Romantic.
Yeah, Lin is so crazy. When his Expo is up, usually you expect the push, because then it should be a supply lead for your opponent. But he makes these fights that either it's the same supply and he can still fight, or he even has a supply lead like we have now.
A lot of it on the back of good hero levels, but this game, he didn't even have the level 3 TC early, because it's not the best map to instantly creep level 3 TC. But he still, with level 2, made it work.
Level 2 Wolves this time, so hero focus not that great as it was before, but TC level 4. And again, Romantic can't follow up. He's not level 4 with an Archmage, he's only now level 3 with the Mountain King. Who is very tanky though, which is very helpful. No clap, just bash.
Still no sorceresses. Is that the way you're supposed to play this? Without slow. Normally that's the big weakness of playing Shaman. You don't have enough to spell to get rid of all the slow. But Romantic seems to be convinced that having more priests and more breakers is more important. However, so far it's not crowned with success yet.
Creep Jack by Lin again. Stormbolt on the TC. Gets a lot of mana burned. That will help him in the long run. This didn't do too much. Chain Lightning also. Decent start for Romantic, I guess. But again, the Berserker picked up so quickly.
Another one falls. Heal scroll coming in. Stomp controlling the MK. Kodos do get a few devours of item on the ground. It was the heal potion.
This shackle goes through. Way better for Romantic than ever before.
Romantic gets some decent kills here. Perhaps another Raider. Nope, that one gets away. With the level 2 aura so fast. Normally Grunts and Raiders are extremely slow and super hard to micro, but here they're not slowed and they're boosted up by the aura, making them somehow pretty, suddenly pretty maneuverable.
Almost a nice save on that breaker. But again, Lin just gets the kills and Romantic doesn't. That's just the theme of the series.
MK is now level 3, but just seems like it was once again a little bit too late. Crystal Ball coming in. Oh, Was that a bit of a BM play right there by Lin, showing him his dominance? Finding more and more kills. Once again, big supply lead.
This should be it. He's going for the kill, I guess. GG, he doesn't want his heroes to die again. A clean 3-0. Lin still only 2 maps lost in this entire tournament. Undefeated in the grand final. 3 years after his last great run, where he was only stopped by 1-2-0. He's back, and he's more hungry than ever before, and he still is the big favorite to take the title home this time.
Yeah, he was the big favorite going into this match, but I didn't think it was gonna quite look like this.
No.
This, what Lin is showing, not just here today, but this whole tournament, it is looking pretty reminiscent of Moon when he went through all the way and
Lin
got the championship.
Was just facing one of the best human versus orc players in the world, and it looked like this. And in the group stage, he was playing against another, like maybe the second best human against orc player in the world, and he squashed him 2-0 as well. How are you supposed to stop this man in this matchup?
Romantic doesn't know how.
No, absolutely not.
TH didn't seem to know how in the group stage, but he had more time to prepare, if we do see that later. The only one who really seems to be able to threaten him so far, these last couple of weeks, was Infi.
Yes.
But Infi dropped out in the group stage. He had a very tough group in Group C, and yet didn't make it. Lin is absolutely the king of this matchup. He's the king of the Orcs. He's in the grand final, and very well might be taking this whole thing.
That, I mean, yeah, why not? We haven't seen him against Undead yet, right?
That's correct.
That might be his weakness, but I guess we're going to the stage to Lin.
让我们恭喜一下令成为第一个杀入决赛的选手。问一下令现在心情如何呢？
지금 결승 진출했는데 지금 심정이 어떠세요?
기분 너무 좋고요. 다음 상대가 누가 될지 모르겠지만 재밌는 경기 보여드리겠습니다.
很开心可以晋级决赛，不管下一场的决赛对手是谁，他会打出他精彩的比赛的。
说到我们的决赛选手，就来问一下令啊。之前的话呢，令是说过他不太希望可以碰到 Happy。那么有什么想对010说的吗？
전에 인터뷰할 때 해피 선수를 만나기 싫다고 했잖아요. 결승에서. 근데 TH 선수한테는 어떻게 생각하세요?
해피 만나기 싫다고 한 적은 없고요. 8강에서 좀 힘든 상대라 그렇게 말했던 거고 결승은 뭐 상관없습니다. 그리고 영삼이가 이겼으면 좋겠네요. 친하니까.
就他之前是说8强选手里面 Happy 是比较难对抗的一个选手，也没有说决赛不想遇到他。然后不管是 Happy 还是000，他都会尽他的全力去打，而且他还是更希望000能晋级，因为他们两个比较熟。
他们两个比较熟，可能就是比较了解的意思，对不对？好，那问一下令，他觉得他这次夺冠的机会是有多大？
우승할 확률이 얼마나 정도 있다고 생각하세요?
저번에 제가 골드리그에서 너무 잘 못해서 16년에도 한번 결승을 갔었는데 제가 또 그때 2대0으로 어이없는 실수해서 3대2로 졌었거든요. 탈락했었거든요. 근데 이번에도 한 50%? 제가 좀 골드리그랑 운이 없어서요.
就是去年的黄金联赛，他也没有进到那个决赛。16年的时候他是2比3输给了120。然后这次决赛的话，他觉得可能50%的概率去夺冠，因为他觉得黄金联赛他没有运气。
哇，这话说的我就不信了。现场的观众告诉我们，你们觉得令会夺冠吗？好，我们再次把掌声送给令。 好，也是预告一下，我们下一场的半决赛呢是由 LF 的 Happy 来迎战的是 RWTH000，我们一起来期待。